1. Respond, don't react, the first step toward inner power. In the fast-paced world we live in, challenges come at us quickly and often catch us off guard. Whether it's an unexpected insult, a sudden setback at work, or a personal disappointment, our first instinct is usually to react. These reactions, often emotional, immediate, and unchecked, may feel justified in the moment but frequently lead to regret, broken relationships, or decisions that don't align with our true values. This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a powerful alternative: respond, don't react. To react is to surrender control. It's allowing your emotions, anger, fear, frustration, to take the wheel without stopping to question where they're headed. Reactions are impulsive, automatic, and often counterproductive. To respond, however, is a conscious choice. It means creating space between the stimulus and your action, just enough room to breathe, reflect, and act from a place of reason and virtue. A response is rooted in self-awareness and guided by your deeper principles, not by temporary emotions. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can always control how we interpret and respond to events. This belief is more than philosophical, it's immensely practical. Choosing to respond puts you back in the driver's seat of your life. It allows you to lead with wisdom, maintain your inner peace, and protect your relationships from emotional fallout. Imagine the difference: someone criticizes you unfairly. Reacting might mean yelling back or shutting down. Responding means pausing, assessing the situation, and deciding whether the comment even deserves a reply, or if silence is the stronger path. In learning to respond, not react, you reclaim your power. You stop being a slave to the world's chaos and begin living by choice, not chance. That is the first, and perhaps most essential, step on the Stoic path. 2. Control what you can, the heart of Stoic wisdom. One of the most empowering truths in Stoic philosophy is surprisingly simple. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. Life is unpredictable. People will disappoint us. Plans will fall apart. Challenges will appear without warning. The Stoics knew this well, and instead of fighting against the chaos of the world, they chose to master their inner world. Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." That one insight is at the core of Stoicism. The Stoics taught that we should separate what's within our control, our thoughts, choices, and actions, from what's outside of it, like other people's opinions, the past, or random events. This mindset doesn't mean we should be passive or indifferent. On the contrary, it means we should focus all our energy where it actually matters. Why waste time worrying about things we can't change, when we can invest that same energy into building our character, strengthening our reason, and making intentional choices? By living this way, we gain true freedom. We're no longer tossed around emotionally by every rude comment, bad day, or failed plan. Instead, we stay anchored. When someone disrespects us, we choose whether or not to be offended. When we face failure, we decide whether to learn from it or let it break us. That's the power of response. This is how Stoicism becomes a practical tool for modern life. In a world filled with distractions, pressures, and emotional triggers, the ability to pause, reflect, and choose your response is nothing short of a superpower. You may not control the storm, but you can learn to be the calm within it. And that, the Stoics would say, is the path to peace, purpose, and true strength. 3. Tools for a responsive mind. Practicing the Stoic way. Developing the ability to respond rather than react isn't just about willpower, it's about building habits and using tools that train your mind over time. The Stoics believed that excellence in life came from practice, not theory. To master your emotions and strengthen your decision-making, you need strategies that ground you in awareness, clarity, and intention. The first essential tool is self-awareness. Before you can control your response, you must first notice what you're feeling and thinking. This means paying attention to your emotional triggers and thought patterns. When anger rises or anxiety sets in, awareness allows you to name the emotion before it controls you. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Next is the practice of pausing. Even a few seconds of space between an event and your response can make a world of difference. When someone says something offensive or stressful news hits, take a breath. That pause allows your rational mind to step in before your emotions take the lead. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to pause and ask, "What virtue does this moment call for?" Another powerful tool is reframing. The Stoics trained themselves to look at situations from different angles. A problem wasn't a burden, it was a chance to practice patience. A betrayal wasn't just pain, it was a lesson in letting go. By choosing how to interpret events, we choose how much power they have over us. Finally, focus on what you can control. So much stress comes from trying to control people, outcomes, or the future. But the Stoic mindset teaches us to direct our energy inward, toward our own choices, effort, and mindset. That's where true power lies. By using these tools consistently, we train our minds to meet life with poise, not panic, with wisdom, not impulse. It's not about being perfect. It's about building the muscle to pause, think, and respond with clarity, one moment at a time. 4. Daily habits that build a calm, resilient mind. Living with calm and resilience isn't something that happens by chance, it's the result of consistent, intentional habits. The Stoics understood that true strength lies in discipline, not in fleeting motivation. That's why they built their days around simple practices that train the mind to stay centered, no matter what life threw their way. One of the most powerful habits is morning reflection. Before the day begins, take a moment to set your intentions. Ask yourself, what challenges might I face today, and how do I want to respond? This mental rehearsal prepares you for the unexpected. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself each morning that he would meet people who were rude, arrogant, or selfish, but he also reminded himself that he had the power to choose patience and integrity in response. Another habit is evening journaling. At the end of the day, reflect on how you responded to different situations. Where did you react emotionally? Where did you stay grounded? Celebrate your wins and learn from your missteps. This practice of daily self-examination, something Stoics like Seneca swore by, helps you sharpen your awareness and align your actions more closely with your values over time. Mindfulness practices also play a key role. Simple techniques like breath-focused meditation or mindful walking help you stay present, notice emotional shifts, and respond with intention rather than impulse. These moments of stillness build your emotional strength, like a quiet reset for your nervous system. Lastly, develop the habit of pausing before you speak or act, especially in moments of stress. Even a brief pause can create the space you need to make better decisions and uphold your inner calm. By weaving these small but powerful habits into your day, you gradually shift from being reactive to becoming grounded, thoughtful, and in control. Calm isn't a personality trait, it's a skill you can train. And as the Stoics taught, when your mind is well trained, the storms of life may still rage, but they'll never shake your foundation. 5. How a responsive mindset strengthens relationships, leadership, and inner resilience. Training your mind to respond, not react, isn't just about keeping your cool. It's a mindset shift that can transform every part of your life, especially your relationships, your leadership, and your ability to bounce back from adversity. When you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally, you create space for understanding. In relationships, this means listening more, judging less, and avoiding the hurtful words that often come out in moments of anger. Instead of escalating conflicts, you de-escalate them. You lead with empathy. You show others that you're in control of yourself, which earns trust and respect. This kind of presence is a superpower in leadership. Whether you're managing a team or simply influencing those around you, your ability to stay calm under pressure sets the tone for everyone else. A leader who reacts impulsively spreads chaos. But a leader who responds with clarity inspires confidence. People feel safer around someone who chooses their words and actions carefully, especially in difficult situations. Even more, adopting a responsive mindset builds resilience. Life will knock you down. Challenges, failures, and unexpected setbacks are guaranteed. But how you respond to them, how you interpret them, makes all the difference. The Stoics believed that adversity was not something to be feared, but a training ground for virtue. Each response you choose becomes a building block of mental strength. Instead of being thrown off course by every difficulty, you become anchored in your values. You learn to observe your emotions. Learn from them, and still act with purpose. Over time, this develops into a quiet confidence that can't be shaken easily. In short, when you choose to respond rather than react, you show up in the world with greater wisdom, compassion, and power. You become the kind of person others can rely on. And more importantly, you become someone you can rely on. That is the mark of a truly resilient and intentional life.